Welcome to the latest Tresorit webinar. We're so glad that you could make it today. It's a very special one because it is the first Tresorit State of the Union of 2023. Don't be fooled by what is written on the slide. If you've joined us for the updates last year, you're familiar with the format. If this is your first State of the Union webinar, then buckle up because you're in for a treat. So, without further ado, let me introduce myself. I'm Olivia, and I have the privilege of moderating the webinar today. As Tresorit's head of product marketing, my focus is on connecting the dots between the products we build and our customers, ensuring that we keep developing solutions that meet real, actual customer needs. My co-hosts today are the wonderful David and Ferenc. But we also have a special guest on this time, Tresorit CEO Istvan. So Istvan, would you like to kick this round of introductions off and say a few words about yourself?
Sure, thank you, Olivia. And sorry about the video. I think something is odd with my camera. So I'm Istvan, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tresorit. I'm by education a cryptography engineer and passionate about cryptography, and that was how it started Tresorit. Back to you, Olivia.
Thank you so much. Ferenc, please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here today.
Thank you. So my name is Ferenc. I'm one of the product managers here in Tresorit. I'm with Tresorit for more than 2 years now, and currently I'm working with a product team which is responsible for the various administrative and control capabilities. And that's what I will talk about today for you. And I pass the mic towards David.
Thank you, Ferenc. I'm David Szarvas. I'm also a product manager here at Tresorit. I'm leading the workspace team, and we are responsible for developing and improving Tresorit's collaborative capabilities in the most user-friendly way by keeping your data secure. And today I'm replacing one of my colleagues, and I will talk about three signature products what we are working on. Back to Olivia.
Perfect. Thank you so much, team. Right, so before we start, let me briefly outline what we'll cover in this session. In the first part, we'd love to share with you a recap of all the feature product developments of the last 6 months of 2022, hence the title of our webinar. But stay tuned till the very end, because we'd also like to finish off by giving you a sneak preview of our plans for 2023. But by way of introduction, I'm going to let Istvan have the opening words with a little look back at what we achieved in 2022.
So in 2023, as always, Tresorit was standing for enterprise-grade secrecy and consumer-grade simplicity. And that's what we carry, that's our past, and that's our future. And what we did in 2022, we, on the enterprise grade secrecy part, we did, to summarize, we did an integration more with your IT systems in your corporate IT systems. And we also made a lot of work to integrate better with your business workflows. On the consumer grade simplicity side, we try to align better with the user's natural workflows on a way that that they can handle Tresorit's on a natural way. And there's one interesting thing what we did in the business workflow integration. If you click on the next one, and that's about signature. I don't know what's your experience, but I'm hearing and receiving emails that I need to print out the documents and sign it and then scan it back and email back to the person. We are in 23, come on. We are in the age of the digitalization. My home can be digital and all this stuff, and still a simple agreement cannot be signed electronically, even after this whole lockdown and COVID and everything. Well, we are making progress in that regard. The next one. And what is as a CEO, and my experience with signing the documents in a traditional way is that we go through some negotiation. And sometimes it's done by a project manager who is dealing with the project. Then once the contract is negotiated with a partner, it's signed out, it's printed out, and they put it on my desk to sign it. And when I'm not in the office, they just leave it in a sealed box. And when I'm back, I find a big stack of unknown documents, that have what to sign. And yes, we introduce cover letters and so on, but still, I'm not the project manager who's managing necessarily that negotiation. And for that regard, okay, I don't know what this agreement is about. It sounds odd. So sometimes I need to admit, I forget to sign it on the time due. Then someone is keep reminding me that, okay, please Istvan, sign it because we need to get back. And then finally, okay, with a lot of stories, I get back to the paper. Okay, now I know what this is about. I'll sign it. And then I put it back on the assistant's desk. They scan it, forward it to the project manager. Well, the project manager not necessarily online that time of the day, and maybe send it back on the next or a few days later. And then the partner does the same. They did the internal ping pong, and then we receive the signed documents, or the countersigned documents again. And then sometimes for important agreements, we ask for a hard copy to be sent back to one of our offices. And then we need to archive those paper-based or hard wet ink signature documents. Someone needs to compare the signed documents, whether, okay, is it the same what has been printed out? Is it the same what we agreed? Did the partner sign every page? Or Istvan, did Istvan sign every page? Because sometimes I forget every signature place to put my signature. So someone needs to go through that of checking it in the before archiving it or before the process. And for that hassle, we are here to digitalize this process. We will talk shortly about our new e-signature process. Back to you, Olivia.
Thank you so much, Istvan, for outlining sort of your recap of 2022 and that little anecdote. So over the last 6 months, we focused on two major areas that you already sort of heard mentioned. One is admin controls, and the other is add-ons. So for starters, I'm going to pass over to Ferenc, who will go through our latest improvements to our admin capabilities. So Ferenc, over to you.
Thank you, Olivia. So in case there are any IT admins among the attendees, you are very aware that a big part of the daily tasks of an IT admin is user management related tasks. And that's why we're having a permanent focus on improving the user management workflows in Tresorit. And what we did in the last couple months, that we presented the account transfer, and we're currently working on the folder takeover features. Account transfer come handy in case one of your users change their email addresses, I don't know, due to family name changes, or when your whole company needs to change the email domain because you are going through a rebranding or you had a merge. And in that case, with the account transfer, you can simply transfer every access right from one account to another account in the same subscription in a secure way, monitored by the administrators. It was a highly requested feature, and our customers and users are very happy to use it now. Folder takeover is, it can be a cure for another use case. It has a touch point with the very end of the employee lifecycle, namely when you are offboarding employees from the company and or from Tresorit. And with the folder takeover, you as an admin can reassign the data owned by your user to another user in the same subscription. So yes, you won't be losing any data just because you have to remove someone from your subscription. What we also did in the last couple of months, we implemented the marketing email policy. It was also a requested feature from bigger companies, because as many of you are Tresorit users, we like to communicate with our users, like about live events, webinars, product updates. But in big companies, there are more strict policies about what should be the communication between a provider and the users. And with this feature, you as an admin are in the position to restrict this communication. What's worth noting that security updates cannot be enabled because, yeah, we are a privacy and security first company. I won't talk much about the roadmap amongst the bullet points because we have a dedicated slide to that at the very end. But what we also did is a SIEM integration, which is, I would like to refer what Istvan said earlier, that we wish to bring Tresorit closer to the already existing IT ecosystem. And yeah, we can go forward and see the product in action. So for those who are already Tresorit users and admins in a subscription, it's not a annuity, it's the admin center of Tresorit. And here we are under the settings tab, where you can set up a single sign-on or provisioning, and also the SIEM integration, which is a high-level monitoring system for your account. Like all the other integrations, we provide you with a detailed setup documentation. In case of the SIEM, which is currently supports Microsoft Sentinel, you can also go through all the events that you can forward to your SIEM workspace. What you need from your existing or soon to be existing workspace is the workspace ID and the shared key, which you can easily copy from there. And here you can granularly select which of those events are relevant for you, which of those events can be a part of your whole alerting system in your SIEM provider. And after you finish the setup, you can simply click done, and then you can monitor your users' Tresorit activity in your SIEM provider. Thank you.
And thank you, Ferenc. I'm positive our audience already has questions for you and for Istvan maybe. So let's take a few seconds and I also have a sip of water while we give everyone an opportunity to post their questions. If you're joining this type of webinar for the first time, you'll see at the bottom of your screen a Q&A button you can use to type your question, and you can even choose to do so anonymously if you'd like. I'll just give us all maybe 10 seconds and a short break, but feel free to post away. Okay, there's a few questions coming in. I think maybe just one that we can address now, Ferenc, is perhaps around confirming the SIEM integration is available for what SIEM systems and on which Tresorit plans for which types of admins?
Yeah, so currently we are providing support for Microsoft SIEM tool called Sentinel. And it is restricted to the enterprise plan currently. But we aim to provide also support for other SIEM providers in case you would be in need of such integrations. We are more than open to hear your feedback on that.
Perfect. Thank you for answering that. At this stage, actually, I'd love for the show to go on, just conscious and to being mindful of your time. So if you'll allow me, I'll ask you, Ferenc, to actually continue with an update on what's been happening on the email security front over the last 6 months. So what's new?
So what's new? For those who are new joiners in these webinars and haven't attended any of the similar events in the last year, it's already in news that we have email security feature and email encryption add-on in Tresorit, which leverage the same end-to-end encryption which we use in all Tresorit products. It's currently available in Outlook for Windows. And yeah, you can reach such features as branding, customization, revoke emails, and fast-track access to your encrypted emails. What's new in terms of email encryption is that we implemented encryption rules. So from an admin perspective, you are in the position to implement certain rules to your users who are using email encryption, namely that you can define domains to which the emails must be encrypted. You can define whether attachments should trigger email encryption or not. We also supporting large attachments, which means that there's usually an 25 megabytes limit in email providers for sending files. But with Tresorit, you can go way higher with 5 GB. It's depending on your Tresorit plan and browser, but the limit is 5 GB in terms of large attachments. And we also improve the UX. So in case you are already using many add-ons in Outlook, it will be much easier to find the Tresorit one and turn it on and off in case you need to do that. And I believe we can see this product in action as well. So what we see here is an Outlook client, and we are writing and sending an email to somebody with Tresorit encryption on. We can simply add an attachment. The attachment will be covered in the encrypted email. So it won't be a standalone attachment and a standalone email, but it will be one piece of sent data. In case the recipient also using Outlook and also a Tresorit user, they can simply open the received email in their Outlook client. In case they are not a Tresorit user and they are not using Outlook. Oh, so that's the one when you are an Outlook user. And in case in this example, you see a Gmail user, you receive it as a secure link. You can verify your identity either with a verification email or with this Microsoft or Google Workspace identity. And here you have also the capability to send a secure reply to the Tresorit user who sent you an encrypted email. And that's what you can see here in the thread. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and apologies for my very jumpy slides today. So I'd like to move straight on to the other add-on that has been keeping our product developers busy, and that's Tresorit eSign. And for that, let me hand over to David for an overview of the latest.
Thank you very much, Olivia, and also thank you, Istvan, for the wonderful problem statement at the beginning that explains why we all need electronic signatures in 2023. So in the next few minutes, I will cover our 3 signature products, what we are actively working on. But first, I would like to explain the main differences between a simple electronic signature and the qualified electronic signature. There are actually 2 main differences. One of it is the use cases. The second is the method of identification. So the use cases, you can use simple e-sign when you sign a document without any formal legal requirement. So for example, internal documents like an NDA, invoice of initials, protocols, and so on. And when you need to sign a document with formal legal requirements, that's when you use a qualified signature. And yeah, the other difference, what I mentioned, is the identification, because with simple e-sign, the only identification what you need is a single sign-on or just log in into your Tresorit account or an email verification. But when you use qualified electronic signature, it requires an ID-based certification. And because it's the qualified electronic signature, it's equivalent to a handwritten document. So that's why it's really important. Next slide, please. And now what we are working on. This is the 3 products what I wanted to share with you. So first, we introduced Simple eSign in the last autumn. It's an easy-to-use document signing solution that speeds up signing agreements without compromising security. It's integrated. It's an integrated add-on and can be bought together with any paying Tresorit plan. So with this, you can send, sign, collect, and store within one integrated end-to-end encrypted platform, and even cut out any additional third-party vendors during this workflow. So with Tresorit Simple eSign, you can make any complex signing workflow much more simple. So since it's early fall when we released Simple eSignature, we also added some additional features. So we worked on central control improvements. There are cases when admins want to limit the potential users of Tresorit Sign, and now it can be simply done by setting up this new policy. We are also providing advanced reporting capabilities to support those businesses who need to closely audit their workflows. For example, you can simply generate a report with signer and signature dates, who created, when created the request, when was it created, and so on. Also, we added LTV, which means long-term validation. It provides a record of what the state certificates were at the time of signing. You might ask, okay, but what certificates do I need? So Tresorit offers digital signature, which provides a highlighted level of assurance through a chain of verified digital certificates. It still sounds really scary, I know, but it isn't. Just to put it simply, it's just a stamp within a PDF. But with these certificates, it ensures you that your signature will be trustworthy within 5, 10, or even more years. So that was the Simple eSign part. And the qualified e-signature, that's our second topic what I want to talk about. We introduced it, but first in the Swiss market. So as a security-first company, we believe the Simple eSign solution is a great tool to sign online and keep your documents secure. But we also recognize the need to also provide an option for cases when stakes are higher and you need a legally binding signature that equals to a handwritten one. That's why we are introducing qualified e-signature bundle in the Swiss market with Swiss ID sign. So this is available in the Swiss market, and this bundle includes, of course, the electronic signatures, the Tresorit subscription, and the signatures that equal to handwritten ones with Swiss ID sign. And what the future will take us. So in 2023, our plan is to also introduce qualified e-signature in the whole European market. So we will introduce this QoS that will comply with eIDAS, which is a legal framework that regulates electronic signatures in the European Union. We will also improve our Simple eSign solution, focusing on the feedback what we receive from our users. So, for example, on the visual display and the content of the signatures. And with all this said, let's see it in action. So you can select a PDF document from Tresorit on your computer. You can add signers, set expiration date, and share the link via secure channel. Signers will need to verify themselves, and we'll offer 3 ways of verification: Tresorit login, a simple SSO, or an email verification for those users who don't have a Tresorit account. So once the signer is validated, they can quickly review the document and click and sign via the top right corner. That's what we see here. And after everyone signed documents, and all parties will receive an email notification, and the document is available for download for everybody via the original link. So I hope you found my demo interesting, and don't forget that you can learn more about eSign in our dedicated webinar, what you can find in our webinars page. Also, you can check our knowledge base, and of course, we are always available for feedback. So thank you for your attention, and I will get back to you, Olivia, and for the Q&A.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And yes, thank you, David, for reminding everyone about the website and where you can find a dedicated page for each of our products that has all of the detail that you need to know, and our on-demand webinars, which I will go into a little bit later. But for now, we'd love to hear from you with your questions to Ferenc and David and Istvan. So please post away, and we'll have another few seconds while we check for your questions.
Yeah, I see a few, and yeah, we will answer all of your questions. If not in here live in the webinar, but we will send detailed Q&A for every question. So, but first, what I read is, yeah, so is it a smooth signing service when you are dealing with customers who are not familiar with Tresorit? So outside of Tresorit, of course. So if you just send a sign request document for somebody outside of Tresorit, they only need to verify their email address, and they can sign the document. So it's just that easy. Also, is a sign available?
Is eSign?
Yeah,
exactly.
Mobile devices, yeah, of course. I mean, of course, that's what we released in this quarter. So no electronic signatures. I mean, the simple electronic signatures. It's available on Android and iOS as well.
Perfect. And there's a very interesting one as well here. And David, we're going to stay with you and the e-signature topic, which seems to be a hot topic for this audience today. Please, we've mentioned it in the webinar. Hopefully, David answered the question already. But just to be super clear, what markets are we offering a qualified e-signature for?
Yeah, hopefully this. Yeah, I mean, as I remember, this question arrived a bit earlier than my speech, so I really hope that clarifies it. But so the qualified e-signatures, what we offer at the moment, it's available in the Swiss market. But in this year, we will introduce the qualified e-signature with the European market as well.
Thank you very much.
And just to add, Lily, that the simple e-signature is valid in EU just as simple e-signature, and also valid in Switzerland. But again, it's a simple e-signature which recognize both the EU markets, recognize it as some bindingness, but not the same as the qualified one. So it's valid.
Perfect. Thank you for that addition. Thank you for that addition, Istvan. Ferenc, I think there's one here that you could help us answer maybe, which is, are we understanding correctly that the SIEM solution we offer does not integrate with Microsoft Azure? Can you tell us exactly how our solution integrates into existing systems?
So what you can achieve with Tresorit, that you can forward events and event logs to Microsoft Sentinel, which is a dedicated service of Microsoft for monitoring events. So in a way, you can translate it that it's integrating with Microsoft Azure, because what the forwarded data is most probably will be stored in Microsoft Azure, but there's this dedicated service called Sentinel, which will process this data.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, I see a few email-related questions here, and just that we're going to have to wrap up pretty quickly. I can see some around the availability of our email security solutions for different email providers and what we might roll it out to. So what I'm just going to say a few words about this. It's definitely on our radar to keep rolling out our solution to different email clients. Microsoft 365 is next on our list with a development scheduled in Q2. And then we'll continue rolling out to Apple Mail and other clients later on in the year or in 2024. So stay tuned on the exact dates for this. As we know, when the product development works, we try to be transparent and communicate that so that you know when to expect different updates. Thank you for all of those questions. We are going to have to stop here for today, but I know there's a few more. So as David said, please look out for that follow-up email. Every question will be answered in the Q&A PDF that we attached there. And thank you for your understanding. Okay, so Istvan, I'd like to hand back over to you so that you could give us at this stage your CEO perspective on 2023 trends and Tresorit's focus maybe for the year ahead as a customer-first company.
Thank you, Lily. Just what we see, as I mentioned earlier, there is digitalizing everywhere, but still with the document management, there are old-fashioned ways of managing documents and agreements that please sign it and send it back, scanned version. And we put on our radar that on a roadmap that you will be able to get rid of this. But on the integration side, next to this, we'll continue integrating with more IT systems, help you better part of Tresorit being part of your everyday life. Also that help you enforce of your corporate policies, and with together with eSign and other things, covering wider business areas. Lily, back to you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. And I get to bring you a little teaser of the 2023 roadmap. So again, to break it down a little bit, this year, 3 big groups that I want to go through. User management, we've mentioned already starting work on a lot of these things. The aim being to always give our admins more granular options so that it's based on your user goals and specific needs. On the secure file sharing side of things, we want to continue developing new rules for automated, for example, encryption of emails, roll out our platform to new email clients, as we've mentioned, and we'll have a big focus on bringing qualified e-signature, a Tresorit integrated product to the EU market in 2023, the first half of the year. Then on the integration side of things, again, we are putting a lot of effort into integrating with current workflows, not adding any extra sort of work to what you already have to do. And we believe API support is going to be key to automatize the way that you manage your subscription. At this point in our webinar, I'd also like to share with you a little, apologies. I also think that before I make my announcement, Ferenc wanted to have a special word about something else that's on our mind for 2023. And that's a little word about our Microsoft Teams integration.
Yep.
Sorry for jumping ahead. I was too keen.
No problem. As Olivia and Istvan both said, that we wish to bring Tresorit closer to your workflows and your existing IT systems, we see that Many of our existing users are deeply intertwined with the Microsoft ecosystem, namely, for example, with Microsoft Teams. They are having calls via Teams, they are managing their calendar, they are sharing non-sensitive data via Teams. And that's why we wish to provide an integration for Microsoft Teams. And this integration will soon step into the beta phase with functionalities like storing data, sharing data, signing documents within Microsoft Teams. And in case you are interested to be a beta tester, beta participant, please email us, contact us at research@tresorit.com, and then we can enable this beta feature for you to try out Tresorit in Microsoft Teams. Thank you.
And thank you. That was a very important little announcement to make. So I'm gonna do 3 more seconds. So that if you need to write down the email address or screen grab it, please, yes, research@tresorit.com. Just want to spend a little bit of time on this slide because at Tresorit we work very hard, as you've heard all through this webinar, to build a solution that's secure first, but also doesn't ever compromise on ease of use. Because how can we keep our digital world secure if the only options out there are clunky, outdated, not integrated, and just create additional workload? That's why we're very proud to be recognized for both our encryption technology, but also our ease of use. And what's exciting on this slide, and maybe some eagle-eyed viewers have already spotted it, is the very recent addition of our Swiss Digital Trust label. We're one of the very first companies to undergo a very extensive 35-point audit and be attributed this label, which launched at the World Economic Forum in Davos about a year ago. It is created by the Swiss Digital Initiative to help consumers recognize and choose services that maintain a high level of privacy and security in terms of managing digital information. So this is one that we're really happy to be able to show you today. And we've already heard from Ferenc about providing feedback, being involved in beta tests, and we would love to continue building the Tresorit ecosystem together, because we don't want to build features and solutions just for fun. We also wanted to address real business needs and customer challenges when it comes to collaborating securely in the cloud. This is why at the end of last year, we opened up our roadmap for Business Plus and Enterprise admins to access directly from the admin center. From there, you can see all of the features, enhancements we have on our radar already, and you can submit ideas, requests directly to our product team, and just provide your feedback that way. And I personally, as the product marketing lead in the company, would also love to encourage you to make the most out of that feature so that we can build the solution you truly need. So go and check it out. Okay, a few closing remarks, just so that you know what else is happening. The next webinar is going to be in February. And that is a German recap of our 2022 features and enhancements. So it's going to be very similar to this in German. So feel free to forward if you're working with any German-speaking colleagues that would prefer to have something like this live in German. Until then, there's a bunch of webinars that you can go and see on demand. We have a dedicated space on the website where you can find all of our past events and webinars. We spoke, for example, of email encryption, and we spoke about Tresorit eSign. These also have dedicated webinars where you can go and find out more about that product specifically. So if you didn't get enough of Tresorit right now, you can go and find us there. Now, all that's left for me to do is thank my wonderful panelists for today. So thank you, team, and thanks to all of you for joining today and for your questions. We hope you found it beneficial, and we'll see you very soon in another Tresorit webinar. Goodbye. Bye-bye, everyone.